Magic can tell stories that inspire you. Take Slimefoot for example, one of the newest legendaries in Dominaria. His humble beginnings as working class mushroom couldn't hold him back. I feel compelled by his relatable yet inspiring story of class and species mobility. From fungus to socialist legend, Slimefoot looks after his own, equal rights for all saplings everywhere. And if you dare to cross him, you'll pay. You'll pay with your life. No, quite literally, if you kill his saplings, you lose your own life. And if he kills his saplings, you lose life as well. I guess in that case, he's pretty true to the whole socialist ideal, right? Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and I have a passion for Magic the Gathering, video games, and spicy food. I love curry, burritos, and hot noodles, but my bumhole does not. Yeah, that's kind of setting the tone for the rest of the video. Do you have a slime fetish? A foot fetish? Perhaps you find stories of stowaways both relatable and nostalgic. I once hid on a night bus from Luton to Scunthorpe. I hid beneath the seat so I wouldn't have to pay, because that is how you fight the man. With a clenched fist, led on the carpeted coach floor that smelled strongly of piss and blue cheese.
Nice.
Well, if any of that makes any sense to you, then boy, do I have a deck for you. Slimefoot the Stowaway lends himself to token strategies, tribal strategies, aristocrat strategies, and just like any good deck builder, I haven't committed to any of these and I've gone half-assed on all of them. Welcome to Commander. But first, a little bit of Slimefoot's background. He was born to Julia and Raymond Stowaway, an unassuming pair of button mushrooms, members of Dominaria's standard underclass. Never did they imagine that their own son would rise up to put fungus and sapling kind on the map. Slimefoot's favourite food is soil, when he looks nothing more than quiet nights in, hiding underfoot, getting the occasional upskirt glance at Jehovah. She just laughs and brushes it off. You know what they say, mushrooms will be mushrooms. This week's deck I've dubbed the Slimy Foot Fetish, or if you're looking for a more sanitised and family-friendly name, perhaps Sapling Spunk Rocket will do. The aim of the deck is to go wider than a wide boy on an uninhibited carbohydrate-heavy diet, with saplings and other loosely related tokens. After playing some games, I have to admit that the tribal synergies are easily the worst part of the deck, so if looking to improve it, I would be cutting a lot of the Sapling Matters support and sapling cards and some of these terrible thalids. But let's see what I'll do in the future. Let's seize the moment and live right now. Slimefoot is not only great in giving us a Bloodlight style effect when his sapling babies die, but it gives us a solid place to dump excess mana and create virtual card advantage. The deck can easily be divided into categories, so let's have a look at those now. In the lands, we have 36 of them, primarily mismatching basics because why the fuck not? With a few utility lands in the form of High Market and Homeward Path, you know, the usual Commander shit. Gears, Cradle and Nickthos are here to provide huge mana boosts which we can sink into Slimefoot's ability to make lots of sapling arenos, because that's what the kids are doing, right? You put the words areno on the end of other words that makes no fucking sense. Next we have mana ramp and fixing. We have Dorks, Mana Rocks, Cryptolith Rights, because if you're going to play any Commander deck it should be this one. Sack outlets like Phyrexian and Astronaut's Altar double up as both sack outlets and mana producing cards, and Paradox Engine enables us to really go off because it's Paradox Engine, it's almost as obnoxious as Deny Navigator. We then have card draw and grinder elements of the deck. Skull Clump is understandably one of our best cards, but Evolutionary Leap and Vampiric Rites can also help us draw into our gas and payoffs. Next up we have a package of tutors that allow us to consistently deploy our game plan, grabbing what we need, whether that be mana, card draw, payoff, token generators, or traditional aristocrat cards. Next up, we have a part of the deck that needs the most refinement, the token generators. Some of these, like Verdant Force, Turn to Shoot Dryads, and Sapling Burst, are absolutely insane in this deck and must stay, but overall, without Doubling Season or similar, the Thalid Fungus collection just isn't really that good. It doesn't get online fast enough and will often get caught up and out in the crossfire of some wrath effects that are getting fired off. Easiest place to make cuts and add better cards would be this section here, but it would be wrong to not try and play some fungus and sapling elements in the deck the first time round. Our next category is quite unique to the style of deck, the token deck. In fact, they are token and sometimes counter doublers. These cards aren't essential but should fuel much more broken turns and even infinite damage with just Doubling Season, Slimefoot and Astronaut's Altar. That's a Ultra Combo! There is an assortment of interaction and grindy aristocrat style effects that look to utilise our own creatures' bodies as fodder. Thorn Thalid is hands down the worst card in our deck, but we all have pet cards we shouldn't play because they're bad. I mean, there are people out there still playing Merfolk in Modern. If you're wondering where the term aristocrat comes from in terms of magic, it's a reference to the fact that when the bourgeoisie and the aristocrats of the mid to late 18th century were playing Magic the Gathering, they would do so upon the backs of what was called living furniture. Members of the working class still alive and twisted and folded into inhuman shapes like tables, chairs and chests of drawers. This practice was referred to as aristocrating and has been adopted in contemporary magical lexicon to refer to use of bodies as means to an end. But just like any functioning socialist leader, Slimefoot will not stand for this practice any longer, even if it means the death of countless people from a subservient sapling underclass. We have 3 unique cards here. We have a Silver Bullet Rex Age to kill problematic enchantments and artifacts, E-Witness to reuse a spent card from the bin, and Concordant Crossroads because some men just want to watch the world burn. Lastly, we have payoffs, cards that reward us for going as wide as possible. Your typical Magnum Dong Behemoths, Overwhelming Stampedes, and Coat of Arms. Mazavek needs a bit more work to get there, but it's probably the one that has the most metal artwork in the whole deck, so even if it was bad, it's fucking staying, just shut the fuck up. Fucking rad, look at it. Okay, so that's the deck done. So before we get into the EDH, a huge shout out to my patrons who support this channel. You guys are helping me move towards realising the dream of becoming a full-time content creator. I'm not there yet, but without you guys the channel would not have grown the way it has. Some of the biggest contributors are scrolling past now. If you want to support the channel via Patreon, links are in the description below and a card on screen now. Even just a couple of bucks a month is more than what your views would give me in ad revenue. One love, as the members of Blue would have said in around 1999, 2001. Wait, when were Blue around? And of course, if you're looking to pick up digital cards, I cannot recommend my sponsor MTG Traders enough. Not only do they lend me cards to make all these videos possible, but they offer one of the simplest and most efficient and effective ways of buying cards on MTGO. If it's physical cards that are your jam, Cape Fear Games have you covered as well. Make sure you use the discount code GGGetWrecked with no spaces to get 8% off your orders from either of these sites and support the channel when you're purchasing your cards. A couple more bits of housekeeping before we get slimy. I stream live on Twitch TV /PleasantKenobi every Monday night at 7 PM BST, so come follow, hang out, and even throw me your Twitch Prime subscription as a cheap and easy way to support the channel. On top of this, I've been invited back to GP Birmingham by the lovely folks over at Channel Fireball, and I'll be spell slinging on Thursday afternoon, so come challenge me to a game and win a pack if you best me. I will also be on the Windmill Slam game show on the Friday at the VIP party, and I'll be giving away a golden ticket for free entry to a GP of your choice on this channel over the weekend, so keep an eye out for that competition too. Now, without further ado, let's give some motherfuckers the tip, the mushroom tip. Our first game is a monocoloured gauntlet in Darien, Azusa and Godo. I'm quite scared of just how strong Azusa can be. Green is by far and away the strongest colour in Commander, and she is just too consistent in her ability to ramp. Godo is particularly scary right now as well, as he goes infinite with the new Helm of Host from Dominaria, if I understand it correctly. We keep an average 7, Darien leads with the Plains, Azusa leads with the Command Tower, which in a monocoloured deck seems a little bit silly, but who am I to judge? I'm playing that fucking Thallid Thorn Thrower thing. Godo leads Mountain, we get lucky and draw our third land and play it for the turn. No turn 2 plays from Darien or Azusa, but Mr. Frodo Godo Bodo over here plays some Lightning Greaves on curve, which is positively terrifying. We draw another land and play a Monolith to ramp ourselves. Then the Godo player realises who we are and just how famous I am, and it's a hard life, you know. I'm always getting papped, asked for my autograph. I signed a guy's forehead once. That's not even a joke. I literally signed a guy's forehead because he thought I wouldn't. I'll sign anything. I'll sign an arsehole given half a chance. Darien plays this funky Scepter, which is part of a 3-card set, which is more powerful when fully assembled, kind of like Tron. It creates soldiers amongst other things, but even the Scepter makes soldiers by shooting yourself in the face when Darien is in play, which is a bit of cool synergy. But he pings me, which is pretty fucking rude if I'm honest. Azusa plays Azusa and makes only 1 land drop afterwards, which is a relief. Artifact ramp from Godo. We draw another land and play it, we cast Slimefoot and get ready to start going wide. Darien plays Mobilization, which is some token generator that I don't care about because it doesn't make little sappy boys. Azusa plays 1 land and passes, which is, Godo lands, finds a Sword of Fire and Ice and attacks thanks to the Greaves, connects, untaps himself and connects again. All at Azusa, which feels warranted to be honest. If Azusa isn't playing under my control, then well, fuck her. We Demonic Tutor. The problem with the new deck full of tutors is that the lines are never obvious and the screen is rather daunting. If you never know what tokens play in the game, I would 100% grab a token doubler here, but instead decided with 2 lots of payoff from my hand, the token generator in play. Grabbing a Gaia's Cradle also draws me a card, seems pretty good. I play the Glowing Rites of Itsy Bitsy Spider and get asked if that was what I tutored for, and of course, I lie. Rites finds us a Plunderer, which means that the Sacrificing Dudes nets us mana now too, so that seems better than the other 2 options. Death Spore could have been played here as a body, but it just feels underwhelming. An example A of why those cards probably need to go and shouldn't be in the deck. Mono White Darien casts Gauntlet of Power and names White, which is pretty damn terrifying. He pings Godo to send a message. Ha! Azusa Green stands for Oracle Mordiah and plays an Eye of Ugin off the top of a library, and then shows us a nasty Terrasti in our futures, like some sort of vision from an oracle. Godo plays Anger angrily, equips Greaves to it, equips Sword of Fire and Ice to his Godo and moves the boots back to Godo. He then crashes into the Azusa player, triggers the sword and kills Oracle. He then attacks Darien with the second Godo attack and uses the sword trigger to kill Azusa now too.
Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
I untap, play Sapling, Bursty, Fadey nonsense and share the love by attacking Darien for 2. Take that, you shit. We make 3 more dudes before passing the turn in order to flip our right. If we can survive the next turn with our board intact, we might be able to kill the table with the combination of Crater Hoof and Overwhelming Stampede. The hype is real. Darien has entered the battle. He scepters me like a prick, then casts a Palisade Giant, then realises this isn't where he parked his car and he has to go. One of the problems with EDH Online, I guess, is that people might just need to get on with their adult lives. The sadness is real. And then there were 3. Azusa does nothing, which just to me everything in her hands is either 10 plus mana, or they have Crossing Grip, Naturalize, or Quarter Calling or something in their hands, some sort of instant speed interaction from green, maybe Beast with him. Godo decides to stop wailing on Azusa in order to convince him not to turn all his sexy swords and fashion accessories into elephants next turn with Nasty Terasti. He also decides that swinging into me would be a bad idea with all the saplings lying around ready to rise up and seize them into production. Token production. Hooray! Torin Mauler shows up, who's actually a sapling on the wrong side of this conflict. What a load of bullshit. He is made indestructible through the power of Thor's hammer. I make a load of dudes and then stay with my burst and use the mana to untap my monolith to max out my available mana next turn. I cast Creative Behemoth and the Azusa chords in response, which makes me pretty fucking sad. I make some vague political passive aggressive comment that isn't too bad, you know, about killing him and all the people he's ever loved, but it doesn't work and he blows up my burst, killing all my dudes in the process. Sadness Sage's triggers place him to the stack, and it resolves one singular tear at a time. Part of me really wish I had baited with the Vicinity, or however the fuck it's pronounced, to ensure I didn't waste Crater Hoof. Life is nothing but a chain of regrets, anguish, and opportune Court of Callings for Reclamation Sage. I decided to threaten lethal by casting Overwhelming Stampede anyway, but then decided to spare these who play at the last moment because I'm a benevolent ruler, that and I'm also fucking stupid. I attack Godo, hoping to cause him to lose some of his board presence to me. He triple blocks down my Hoofy and goes to 21 life. I guess I've evened up the playing field a little bit. Bane of Progress clears out the messy artifact situation by blowing up all the equipments. I draw more lands and look very low on gas now. I play out Plunderer but decide to keep Vicinity in my hand as it feels like a way to get back into this game, and I know that it will just die to Drastodon in the Azusa player's hand. Eldrazi Conscription on Reclamation Sage feels pretty bad for me, as I have a target painted on my rather beautiful forehead. He swings at me, I sacrifice some lands and take it on the chin like a canload of Bukake. Godo casts Hellkite, decides he can't win this game and scoops it up without attacking. The struggle is real. I play out both Sapling Cluster and Vicinity, which feels close to having enough synergy to claw my way out of this, but it feels pretty weak to Nasty Terasti. Nulamog, however, is cast and we lose our 2 new enchantments and don't even get any elephants for it in the fucking process. We make dudes and sack and jump to hold on for dear life to see if we can draw anything good. We aren't playing any Wrath effects, so we're not drawing to that. And see an Overrun and then a Sprout Swarm and then the end of our lives. We're fucking dead. That didn't quite go to plan, let's try again. It would seem that black is the new black as we're up against Beetleborg, Banana Man and the luxurious Gonti. We are also on the play and have a Mana Dork. Off to the races. Turn 1 Skull Clamp from Gonti makes me jealous. We lead with a turn 2 Awakening Zone to maximise our mana for our X-cost creature tutors that are in hand. Turn 2 Cabal Coffers from Scarab Valley means he probably won't be joining the party anytime soon. However, this not so turn 2 Oath of Druids from Tasiga means that everyone but me will be getting to have all the fucking fun. What a mad lad. The problem is, as a tokens deck, I will rarely, if ever, get any value off of this Oath, as I will always have more creatures than my opponents unless things are going horribly wrong. Gonti triggers the Oath and finds a Rune Scarred Demon, which seems pretty good for turn 2. He plays a Soul Ring and equips the Skull Clamp, and we get to make our first spawn. I decide to lead with Vicinity in order to enable card draw off of these spawns. Oath nets Scarab Valley a Liliana's Reaver, which suggests to me he's probably on some sort of zombie tribal. Oath nets Tasiga a Sheoldred. Fuck my old boots. Phantasmal Image copies Runescarred Demon. This feels like it might be getting a little bit away from my fair cards in play right now. Gonti nets a Noxious Gearhulk off of the Oath and Sheoldred bites the dust, which is pretty good for us. The Sheoldred trigger resolves, Gonti sacks the demon and draws a load of cards, which seems very strong. Strip Mine and Viscerate are Gonti's follow-ups after this. I draw Gaia's Cradle, which is great except for the looming Strip Mine over there. I sack my Scions or Spawns or whatever the fuck they are and draw cards, and then I Green Suns for Verdant Force to try and scratch back some form of card advantage and board presence from this fucking Oath. Because if I can't have Oath triggers, then I might as well make as many dudes as humanly, or in this case, tree folky saplingly possible? That didn't really work, did it? Don't know what I'm fucking talking about. Beetleborg gets a Crypt Gas, which seems a bit weak here, especially when he plays a second island. Awkward. Transmuted Teleria West grabs Urborg though. A wild Palinchron appears, combo Tasigur, eh? He plays a Mana Crypt into Kadama's Reach, which ramps him pretty well. Oath finds an Obnixilis that punishes searching of libraries, which is... yeah, that's great. He clamps the Seer and draws 3 cards from it and Fecundity. He follows up with Panharmonicon and Mimic that. Also known as the Value Collection by Jean-Paul Gonti.
Classique, le mal, parfum de Jean-Paul Gaultier.
We make a load of dudes and draw a Skull Clamp. Growing Rites finds us a Mana Dork, which is pretty unexciting. I tap Cradle for 7 mana and cast Clamp and start clamping bitches all over the shop. I draw 3 cards, including a personal favourite in Evolutionary Elite. I finally cast Slimefoot and clamp another Sapling, drawing 3 more cards and pinging my opponent for 1. That is value. I draw a Natural Order. Order plus Chord means that our opponents are certainly dead if we get to untap with our current board presence and hand. Order finds Scarab God a 4/5 with Menace, which is pretty unexciting to say the least, and Scarab God enters the fray. He then casts Grave Pact and Zombie Master, which is interesting, and it pretty much solidifies the fact that he's on some sort of zombie tribal Scarab God list. Tasker gets a Rune Discard Demon off of Oath, which with Palinchron in play means we're probably just dead. I stupidly overtapped my mana. If I hadn't got greedy for value and kept 1 black source up, I would have had Putrefy available to interact with this nonsense. That's a punt. Because the Surger takes 10 damage from Nixilis and Saxadu, which draws him a card and triggers Mimic Vat. Here he is, everyone's favourite degenerate easy mode, Let's Go Infinite Spirit, Deadeye Navigator. With Palinchron, this is infinite mana. He explains that he will make infinite mana and bring the image back as a Runescarred Demon infinite times to draw his deck or shoot it for the appropriate cards, or he can just cast out Tasigur, activate it infinitely and draw his deck. Basically within the whole board, then reality shift everything into 2/2s over and over until there's nothing left in our libraries. We could have stopped this by killing the image in response to the Soulbound trigger with Putrefy. He says that doing this combo on MTG is pointless and probably a little bit too time consuming, so he asks if he wants to continue to play on. I'm game, but Gonti quits out, but not before claiming he would have won next turn. But instead of showing us, he does leave, so yeah, right mate, sure. Bye bye! Scarab Daddy, after having a particularly bad game and doing almost nothing, also exits stage left. We call to see if we have an answer whilst all this is happening, and we do not, and grab Avenger of Zendikar. If our opponent kept mana up, he theoretically has infinite mana and infinite blockers, but instead decides to beast within one of our cradles. Cradle plus Nykthos nets us approximately 1 million mana. We cast a load of shit we don't even need, the natural for Crater of Behemoth. If he had kept up mana to mess with us during this process, then I'd be able to flicker the image one more time and get Palinchron on top of his lands and go infinite, we could have Putrefied in response to the trigger again. So we did have an out there if, again, we kept the mana up, which we did, so we're not that bad. We swing for 336 damage and remember to hold up interaction for the game-winning combos next time we play. So Slimefoot is fun. I'm playing him as a rather linear, uninteractive combo finisher, which isn't my normal EDH style. I like to play interaction and control elements, so it's kind of unique. I hope you enjoyed this foray into Sticky Foot Fetishes and Commander with a new Dominaria legend. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the bell as well to keep up to date with when I upload, because YouTube is a piece of shit for letting people know. If you want to see any other particular commanders from Dominaria, hit me up in the comment section below with ideas for decks and cards that I should include. I have started asking for advice on secret tech on Twitter too when making commander decks, so make sure you follow me on there as well. Let me know what you thought of the video, the deck in the comments too. If there's any obvious ways to improve it, hit me up and let me know. In the meantime, keep on seizing that means of tokens production, my sapling brothers, and next time you're down to suck a chode in the party zone, make sure you wrap that mushroom tip, as you don't want to get a fungal infection. Isn't that right, Napoleon?
Fuck off, Véance.
That's just fucking rude, Napoleon. Do you want to not teach you any manners?